What's up, you guys, and welcome to Listen, All Things Content. We're going to be having a sit down conversation content. Me, Ursula, heavy on the content. And you probably are seeing this inside of the BPU, likely inside of the TV show commercial content, or also the target audience content, which we know we break down now in adjective, noun, and verb. And I had to get the specialist right now. Like I had to go get, I said, listen, let me get somebody who's 10 times better at content than me to be able to come and break some of this stuff down for y'all. And yeah, we're finna get into it.
I'm excited. I'm real excited because digital marketing is taking over. And I've seen it. I have seen it. Matt has seen it. It's been the wave. And now, granted, however you feel about it, if you're just new, been in it for a long time, you got to make sure if you're going to do it, you got to do it all the way. It ain't no half stepping.
Ain't no half stepping. And that's been a prevention for a lot of people is there's no commitment to the content. I think that's one of the first things we can talk about is you have to commit to the content. And if you're not committed to the business at all, we can see it in your content.
Yeah, it's really clear. Like there's no way to not see it, which then translates to people not being convinced enough to even purchase it from you.
And that's one of the frequently asked questions we're going to be going over too that y'all asked us about. But first, we're going to dive into TV show commercial content.
Okay.
So to break down TV show commercial content to y'all, and likely many of y'all have heard about it, but to break it down to you, your TV show is what draws your audience. So this is likely entertainment, and by what platform you're on, you gotta make sure that this fits the platform. You gotta make sure that this fits, if it's Instagram, is this Instagram type content? Is this what Instagram wanna push? If it's TikTok, is this what TikTok wants to push? And then you're creating content that talks to the audience, the people who you want to buy from you. So that's your TV show. And then your commercial, you guys, is when you're actually promoting. When you're doing this right, your commercial may not get as many views as your TV show do, as we know. But your TV show keeps on coming back. You can run your commercial through there. You can go live with your commercial. You can put your commercial in between your stories. You can even have a post and all those different variants of posts that you can have that drives it. But I want you to talk to us a little bit about TV show first for digital marketers, because some of their content is ICDC college content. You know what I'm saying? You want to quit your job?
Right.
Get into digital marketing. Get you some BPU. And I be telling them this is not the way to go. But even just at first thought, what advice would you give to people who feel like they stuck in that space of that type of content?
When it comes to you being stuck in the space of hard selling, direct selling, it has been proven time and time again on social media that it just does not work. You have to stop it. But it also takes knowing yourself and knowing how strong you are in certain areas. Are you able to connect with people on an emotional level? Are you more analytical? It's really going to take knowing yourself and how you present and where your strong suits are and the way that you talk, because you're going to lean on that when you're doing your TV show content, when you're doing any type of content for that matter, because that's what's going to be able to flow effortlessly out of your mouth when explaining what it is that you're providing them and how it can actually help them. Now, one of the things when it comes to doing TV show content, I want you to consider when you watch a TV show, what makes you watch it? Like, what makes you fall in love with the TV show? And right now, as of today, which is, what's today's date?
The 20th.
Of what?
July 2024.
He said the 20th. So, look, you can reuse it every month, the 20th.
Yep.
No, so as of today, right now, if you guys have not been, number one, I strongly encourage people to research, do their research, study the trends that are happening. If you notice, there's a huge trend happening where people are reenacting 90s sitcoms. Have you been seeing that? 90s sitcoms. And guess what? People sit and they watch the whole thing because it gives them that nostalgia. It's relatable. It's that, oh my God, let me go back into this and I'm about to pick this back up again, right? The same things that you fell in love with that show or movie or series or whatever it is that you were watching, you need to have that in your content, especially if you're going to go the direction of TV show style content, because that's going to make people actually stick around. And if you are a person who's obsessed with the 90s like I am, I would take some of those key moments, pivotal moments that you're seeing all over social media, and I would incorporate that into the digital marketing on selling my products. Like, for instance, they're doing, I don't know if you've seen it, but they were like, when the key character on a sitcom becomes attractive now. And did you see that one?
Yeah.
Where they drank it and then all of a sudden they're beautiful and they changed their name. I would 100% incorporate selling my digital products that way. So now where I go from being unattractive to attractive, I'm attractive, I got a new job. Well, what you doing? Oh, I sell digital marketing, I make da-da-da-da-da. But it's allowing people to stay initially and not be turned off from it, because there's so much back and forth with, is this good? Is it a scam? Is it not a scam? All of those different things. But how you kind of get past that first layer of defense that people have is you go in for what they know and what they're familiar with. It's always going to let their guard down so that they even give you an opportunity to explain to them anything.
Yeah, and when you think about it, that even theme and theory of the main character gets more attractive as time goes along.
Yeah.
That's you when you're making better content.
Right.
Like, the more you make content and the more you talk to just this specific audience, you can't be afraid, and we've all been through it, right? Where we're afraid, so we like, I need to talk to everybody.
Right.
I need to be generous.
Oh, that's the worst place to be.
Because nobody identifies. Nobody wants to stop scroll, and nobody. I don't think, and I want you to talk about this, the concept of the follow is based off of you entertaining your audience.
Yeah. 100%. If you notice, people who do comedy, people who are, and not even considering educational, because educational is an extremely strong, powerful tool on social media, but we're considering the things that make people feel something. When it comes to comedy, when it comes to inspiration, people will immediately follow, because you've just given them a burst of, I don't know if it's, I can't remember what it's called, if it's oxytocin, endorphins, or whatever that end phrase is. Dopamine, that's what it is. You've given them a burst of dopamine that they're now going to crave from you, and if you keep supplying it, whether it's on a larger scale or a smaller scale, they're going to keep coming back, which means they're going to hit the follow button so that they can now stay there. And they were like, okay, when her next video or his next video pops up, now I'm going to get that same feeling that I got in the first, the second, the third video. It's not going to switch up. Now, granted, it eventually wears off. You may have 3 months with that person, a year with that person. We don't know, depending on your consistency. But it wears off, just like our favorite song that we listen to. We'll listen to it 30 times back to back to back to back, and then just stop listening to it. So it's like
and it literally doesn't come back to us until we have a nostalgia feeling, and how we automatically make things throwback.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But we have reasons why we follow those artists. So like, for instance, we know what we're going to get from a Lauryn Hill.
Right.
So we know the vibe, what it is, Zion, what it is, any of those songs. Business owners have to understand, when you're doing content, there's a vibe that you give, there's a flow that you give, there's a certain verbiage that you give, and that's what people are saying. Well, I followed you so I could come back, even though platforms mess with us on that sometimes, but I followed you so I can come back. I go searching for you again to see what more of the content.
Yeah, like if you are familiar with me, or if you're watching this and you don't know me yet, I'm a very silly person, like 24/7. It does not stop. And so a lot of people who have booked with me booked straight off of the fact that I was silly, and they can count on me to make them feel good in some capacity of us working together. The entire time we're working together, we are laughing, we're getting our work done, but we are laughing, we're having a good time. But they come to my page because they know I'm gonna do something crazy. Something's gonna be over there that is just insane, that just don't make sense. And so that makes them keep coming back. Same thing with Matt. They come over there because of his personality as well. They know if they go over there, he gonna be talking about how good he look. He gonna be
wild, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot of Mississippi. let's go get country, all of that.
Yeah, and so it makes them keep coming back because then they start to fall in love with that side of you beyond what it is that you do, which is why if you notice, and this is even for people who jump careers on social media, they can get that following right back because those people weren't in love with what they did. They were in love with who they were and what they represented.
Yeah, yeah. And that's so much of what each individual needs, especially in digital marketing, because they're not hearing this. So, you know, we are such an advantage of them because they're coming to the business side and they're saying, oh, these people are showing me the thing that I'm missing. Like the product is not just the money. The people who have the money paying for your product is the money, but they don't know to buy it from you if there's nothing that attracted them and that made them come back. So even like we said in that falling in love with the main character, each of them are the main character of their TV show. But people have to fall in love with you. And even when we go back and watch the old stuff, we may have a difference of opinion, or we may be like, I forgot that they look like this, or that they couldn't act on the first episode. You'd be like, oh, he was trash.
Because in the moment, you're like, man, I remember being so in love with this person off this TV show. They was the finest thing since sliced bread. You go back and watch that TV show 20 years later and be like, what was
happening? Because this is a whole first season.
What was I on?
Of it not even looking like this. Like somebody was saying that about like Ashley Banks. They was like
Ashley,
from
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, so the dudes be like, I wanted her so bad growing up. She wouldn't even make it today.
Oh my God!
Said she wouldn't even. They were like, we might give her a few insecurities because we be like, you definitely not finna be the hottest thing on the block, coming out bougie like this.
Man,
like you gonna have to turn it up.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It takes you back. It honestly takes you back.
Yeah.
But really diving into that TV show type of content is going to make a huge impact, especially because everybody looks at digital marketing. It has a very negative connotation, if we're being honest. It does. You know, and it comes from people either having bad experiences or people just not knowing. Just not aware, don't really understand what it is, and go based off of things that they've seen other people say. When you have an industry that has such a negative connotation without you even touching it, you have to immediately have ways that you're going to combat that. A surefire way is personality. Personality, because when it comes to you being in an industry that people are considering a specific thing, you have to build trust instantly. Like that's not even something you can wait on.
And people feel like they can ask more questions. They feel like they can come over there and talk. They feel like and people get it sometimes. So like my introduction to digital marketing, I did the on the phone video. Which made it so simple, attracted people who wasn't in it because they like, oh, this funny. You get what I'm saying? I'm shooting dice with somebody. They like, yeah, this make me like it because I instantly have a trust value. Because, okay, I like it, this personable. But if I'm ICDC College in it, I'm P90X, like that is, it's just a commercial. You wanted to go to school,
but you couldn't go to school because you didn't wake up. And you didn't wake up because your alarm wasn't set. Your alarm wasn't set because you ain't had no money to pay the light bill. You couldn't pay the light bill because you didn't go to school.
Like yo, like we've gotten by that stuff back in the day. Like for instance, I be telling them, y'all can't give me this P90X content. Which later on we realized all these people was already in shape. It took you a minute, but you was like, you know why I bought this? Why? Because Boris Kojo.
It wasn't Boris Kojo.
What's that dude's name?
Was it Boris? No, it was, what was his name?
It wasn't Boris Kojo, but
it was Boris Kojo, but he looked like the whole Shamar Boris kind of mixed thing. But it wasn't Boris Kojo. I can't remember this man's name, but he was so
It's Sean something.
Yeah, Sean T.
Yes, Sean T. Sean
Titan tucking something.
When the whole time we was like, it only took us to realize when people be like, y'all know Sean T been in shape his whole life.
Yeah, he came out. He came out in shape. Mama pushed him out. He had a six-pack.
And everybody on the video is in shape. So we're going off the dream of I can have this. Now, what's crazy is what I'm trying to get people to see is that there are real results, especially that have happened over time. There are real people who really got in shape from P90X. There's real people who got in shape from Slim Fast. There's real people who, what was the first one we were talking about? There's real people went to ICDC college
Yeah.
and got an education.
Yeah.
There's real people who have did things in digital marketing, but y'all got to understand, like you said, that's so good. If you know the mistrust is here, I got to give you personality because that's the
Right
only
off
way
the
you're
bat.
going to even give me a chance.
Right off the bat. It has to
Mm-hmm.
be top priority in any of the content that you put out, whether it's educational or TV show or, you know, whatever route that you decide to go. That trust being built, personality being shown, it's a non-negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even up for debate.
And so when they're talking to the audience,
Mm-hmm.
like when we talk about adjective, noun, and verb. So
Mm-hmm.
just to break it down to y'all, adjective is something specific to who you're talking to. Like I say, I like to use the trucker example because that's one so far gone that people be like, that makes a lot of sense
Right.
because I wouldn't even think there's digital products that can go to them, but there's digital products that can be sold to anybody.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But if I'm talking to truckers and these are owner-operated truckers, that's my adjective. So they know, oh, he talking to me. Not people who drive for Swift, not people who drive for Mac Johnson.
Right.
Owner-operator, you own your, because that's a whole world. I not only own a truck, I'm an owner-operator, meaning